Excitement and adventure are around every corner this summer at your library. Create your own literary wonderland at home. Immerse yourself in our never-ending online library. Learn new skills, explore virtual events, and connect with your community in a whole new way. Starting May 18th, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System and the Washington Nationals bring summer at your library to you. Hit a home run this summer and register today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Crafternoon, our live virtual craft activity series. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm Ms. Natalie from the Accokeek branch of the Prince George's County Memorial Library System. Welcome to our Crafternoon. Today's craft is going to be a cardboard tube wizard's tower. Now, you can use a cardboard tube from a roll of toilet paper, a cardboard tube from a roll of paper towels. If you want to go really hard, you could use a cardboard tube from a tube of wrapping paper. This is going to do it for me right now. I don't have that much room. We're going to need a couple other things. We're going to need some paper. Now this is kind of fancy paper, but you don't need to use fancy paper. You can use newspaper or construction paper or printer paper, and that'll be fine too. Some scissors. I recommend using safety scissors or using an adult. That is cool too. We're going to need some tape. We're going to need something to draw with. So I'm going to use a marker and a pencil. You could use a crayon. You could use pretty much anything. And then the last thing is something round. This is going to help us make a nice pointy roof. I'm just using a little cup. You don't have to use this. You could use any old thing that's round. In fact, let's try this plate too. Let's see how both of these work out. Now, these are both pretty sturdy. They'll stand up on their own. If we get to a point where we put a lot of decorations up at the top, it might make them a little bit wobbly, and we might have to make it a little sturdier at the bottom. But these are actually pretty sturdy, so we're just going to try it how they are right now. First one we're going to do is one of these guys. I have made a short tower with a nice pointy roof and these weird stairs going up the outside, because it is a weird wizard's tower, and wizards, you know, they're doing whatever they want to do. They don't put the door down here, they put the door up there. They want to work your calf muscles and what have you. So that's what we're going to try first. We're going to wrap this in paper. I chose this paper because it looked kind of like marble, but you can use any old kind of paper and that's fine. This is the paper that we're going to use. And I'm going to measure with my tube to see how much paper I need. It comes to about this dot right here, so I'm going to just trim this piece of paper right along this dot. If your paper doesn't have dots, that's fine. Just eyeball it. And let's see, we're going to need about that much paper, and I'll save the rest of this for later. We're going to want to tape this down. At the beginning here. And then also at the end here. This paper's a little stiff. I think I'm going to put a piece of tape up at the top because you can see it wants to stick out a little bit. And that's fine, but I'd rather have a nice sleek tower. Very fashionable. Okay, now we're going to make this pointy roof. I'm going to take this paper that I had left over from wrapping it. I'm going to make a circle on there. I'm going to use this little cup and I'm going to trace a circle. Then we're going to cut that circle out. All right, that's pretty good. We want our circle to be wider than our tube, and it looks like we've accomplished that. And then we are going to cut a line in our circle into the middle there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get it pretty close to the middle. You could measure it if you want to. I'm not real big into measuring, so this is going to have to do for us. See how this one is kind of shaped like a cone? We're going to achieve that by making these two pieces overlap. It's kind of a low cone right now. We can make them overlap more to get a pointier cone. And I think that's the look I'm going for today. Then we are going to tape it down. And I'm going to just wrap that little bit of extra tape over there for neatness. Yep, that looks pretty good. But we're going to have to attach the top to the bottom. That is going to take another piece of tape. Going to get a piece of tape that's a little bit long. I'm going to put it on the inside. I'm going to put it pretty close to the middle, but not super far away from the end, because I want to put this over the top and have that tape stick. It's going to be a little difficult to see, but I'm going to push this tape so that it touches this, and then it will stick. I don't know if I can do this so that the camera can see it. It's going to be happening on the inside. You'll have to just trust me, guys. Well, you could kind of see that. Lovely. The only thing is, it's not super sturdy. Yeah, it's going to want to do that. So we're going to put one more piece of tape right here to hold it. We're going to take a piece of tape and we're going to roll it into a tube so that it's sticky on both sides. Then we're going to set that right here where we want it to be, and we're going to push that down. And now that is very secure. That'll stay for us. The other piece of this guy, though, is this mysterious wizard staircase. How are we going to achieve that? Let's see. I'm going to cut a long skinny strip of this same paper. You don't have to use the same paper, though. You can use whatever you want to. And see how this spirals around the outside? We need to make sure that our piece of paper that we just cut is long enough to do that. So I'm going to touch it down at the bottom, because at the bottom is typically where a staircase starts, and I'm going to wrap it around. Yep, that'll go all the way to the top, and then a little bit extra in case I make a mistake. Down here, it starts just a little above. I think I'm going to make this start exactly at the ground so that we don't have to hop onto that first staircase. To do that, I'm just going to cut a little triangle off the end of this. That way, this will line up perfectly with the ground instead of having that funny little gap there. To make the stair part, I'm going to have to cut a lot of little pieces parallel to this one we've just cut. Not going to cut all the way through, only going to cut about halfway through. But I am going to have to cut like a bajillion of them, so bear with me. 1185, 1186, 314, 516, 517, 582, 900, 3,406, 11 million, and 12. 12 feels right, yeah. So now that we've got all of these little lines cut halfway through, parallel to the one at the bottom, we are going to fold them over. Doesn't have to be exact. Wizards are out here building any old kind of wizard tower. Yes, a little bit more than that. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh, I cut the triangle on the wrong side. Shoop. Okay, let's try that, see how that goes. Yes, all right, we're gonna tape this down and wrap it all the way up to the top. And then we're just gonna go back over those stairs and make sure they're lying nice and flat. We don't want an OSHA violation over here. Right down to the bottom. Wrapping. I'm going to put a piece of tape halfway for stability. Then all the way up to the top. Got a few too many stairs. I'm just going to cut those off. Oop. All right, let's bend all these stairs down so that our wizard can climb up. Oop. Extra sliver of paper. Now, paper stairs, you might say, are not the most sturdy, and that's true. But luckily, our wizard is made out of paper too, I think, so that should be just fine. Nice spiral staircase going all the way up to the top. But what if this is not quite enough of a tower? What if we need more tower than this? Well, then I'm going to have to pull out a real big roll of paper. I think this one's also going to be blue. No, this one's going to be white. I'm going to use regular printer paper because I noticed that it's about the same length as this, and that means that's one fewer cut I have to make. I am a very lazy person. Let's roll this guy up in paper. Very tidy, very neat. Let's tape him down. This is a lot of paper, so I'm going to need to tape it at the top, at the bottom, and in the middle. All right, that's a pretty good tower. Still very steady. But this time, I'm going to make a roof with this guy. It's a bigger circle. It's going to be a more serious business roof. Let's take a look here. Lovely. Let's cut this guy up. All right, and we're going to do the same thing and try to cut this right about into the middle. Yep, I think that's a pretty good tower roof. Let's tape that down. Now we could have used this size tower roof on this size tower, and that would have been fine too, but it does look like his hat is very large. I think it'll work a little bit better on this tower. It's a little bit more in scale. Though certainly, whatever kind of tower you want to make is going to be beautiful. Going to do the same thing where I put a piece of tape about halfway and then try to tape it to the inside of this guy. Shoop. And then I'm going to want to tape this side down so that it doesn't flop off like a teapot lid or something. Let's see, and that's going to go right in there. I made a little tape tube so that it's sticky on that side and on that side. Maybe a little bit higher up so that it looks nice and even. Yeah, that's pretty good. But this time, I don't want to just put stairs. I want to put a dragon on here. Let me show you what I mean. I made this tower that is being menaced by a fire-breathing dragon. And I'm just super into the fire-breathing dragon look. So we're going to attempt that same thing on this bigger tower. But that means I'm going to need a bigger dragon. Let's get a really big piece of paper out here. All right, like this one, very dramatic looking. And let's put a nice dragon on here. Uh-oh. We're going to want to have, well, some fire coming out of there. And we're going to want to have a big old dragon nose and big old dragon eyes. Yep, kind of like that, I guess. I don't know. Big old dragon nostrils and dragon eyes. And he's smiling because making fire is like his favorite thing. Going to give him a couple spikes. Yeah, he's done. He is super ready. And we're going to cut him out. Let's get this guy out of the way because this is a very large piece of paper. Oh no, I'm starting to cut off his spikes. That was ill thought out of me. I should draw spikes on after I cut him out. That is what the wise wizard does. right. Some emergency spike replacement. Gonna stick some spikes coming down here. All right, he's ready to go. But now we've got to put him on our tower. I'm going to kind of wind him around a little bit like that. Yes, excellent. That's exactly where a dragon would sit. Then I'm going to tape him down. I'm going to do it using some tubes of tape because we want it to be sticky on the dragon side and sticky on the tower side too. So we're going to fold the tape over into a tube and then we're going to stick some in between the dragon and his tower. Then we're going to do it down here at the bottom too. And I think I'm going to put one where he meets in the back too, just to be safe. Dragons aren't nearly as fearsome if they have just fallen off a tower. Yes, this is quite reasonable. And I think as a finishing touch, we're going to have a wizard who is slightly alarmed at that situation. Natalie, please. There he is, looking out of his window saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" Excellent. So we've made a great big tower with a dragon, little bitty tower with stairs. We've got a couple other fellows over here. And then if you don't even have a roll of toilet paper or paper toweling, you can also make a tower just by rolling up a piece of paper. It'll still work. Thank you all so much for joining me as we did this exploration of the various types of wizard's towers you can make. Thank you so much for coming to our Crafternoon, and I'll see you later. Bye!
Excitement and adventure are around every corner this summer at your library. Create your own literary wonderland at home. Immerse yourself in our never-ending online library. Learn new skills, explore virtual events, and connect with your community in a whole new way. Starting May 18th, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System and the Washington Nationals bring summer